Macros diet, all the things you need to know about. Have you ever been introduced to macros diet? Do you know what exactly is it? Is it beneficial enough to rely upon? Whoa. Take a break and explore this article to get along with this extravagant concept to sustain a healthy life. The concept of macros diet is beyond traditional calorie counting. Macros are all about macronutrients that comprise of three major nutrients: protein, fat, and carbohydrates. While consuming foods, you need to keep a check on the macronutrients, and its proportion is based on your calorie goals. As you used to count calories before each and every indulgence with delicious food. In the same way, you need to keep a check. But the difference is that instead of calories, you need to check the proportion of the macronutrients. This weight loss technique has no predetermined norms that you need to take care. Rather, it is the most flexible diet that is based on macronutrients you consume. This is the reason why it is broadly termed as IIFYM flexible diet, aka if it fits your macros. There were few competitive bodybuilders who were tired of eating boring food and haphazardly came up with the concept of counting macronutrients. This is because they were done with the plain, tasteless and low-calorie content foods. Thus, they started with this new concept, where you don't have to consume those dull food items. It is time to have some real and delicious food, which has macronutrients in it. The technique of macros diet revolves around meeting the targets of macronutrients on the daily basis. It simply means to plan daily meals in such a way that you intake appropriate amount of protein, carbs, and fats to achieve goals, be it losing weight or building muscles. Each and every target can be achieved with this concept. This way there won't be any sort of nutrient deficiency in your body while keeping away harmful calories. A set of the macro target is determined from prior for each and every day based on their goal. This target includes generous proportion of protein and carbs to provide you with adequate energy that burns every day with all sort of physical activities you perform. On the other side, intake of fats is kept little to avoid any excessive calories. One of the main purposes to meet the target is that the foods you consume will not affect negatively. When the macro target is planned, it is framed with a reference to your goals, daily activities, and the entire routine. So, if you don't succeed to meet up the targets, there are chances that you will reverse the concept and would end up gaining weight. 1. Macros diet is the perfect balance of consistency and flexibility. Though it allows flexibility, it simultaneously maintains consistency in the plan as there are predetermined macro targets, which you need to meet by the end of any day. This is one of the most advantageous benefits of macros diet, which gets you achieve the goal without any hitch. 2. Unlike other traditional diets, there is no restriction for consuming food. You can feed your taste buds with all sort of delectable that you wish to enjoy. 4. Before stepping out of the house for any event, you don't need to pack your special meal. It is possible for you to eat anything, despite being on the diet. 6. When you are not allowed to eat anything, there is a chance that you might get tempted to eat what you are not allowed and start binge eating. But, on macros diet, this won't happen, as no food is off limits. Don't skimp on micronutrients. Micronutrients such as vitamins and minerals are relatively imperative for functioning of the body as that of macros. But, majority of IIFYM enthusiasts go for cakes over kale too frequently. This way your body won't work well if there is nutrient deficiency in your body. In order to get the most out of macros diet, ensure you consume sufficient amount of nutrient-dense foods to acquire all essentials from the food. This can be practiced by checking if at least once a day you consume vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. Make a correct decision on carbs you intake, as there is freedom of choice to eat food. Ensure you are consuming complex carbs along with simple ones. For example, selecting cookies over brown rice is nothing serious. But, converting those feasts as your staples, it would surely harm you. Macro diets won't work well for you. Therefore, it is part and parcel to design a plan in such a way that fibrous carbohydrates are consumed such as brown rice, oats, whole grains, and the list goes on. Demystify your myth that healthy food can't taste good and explore these recipes to prepare some exquisite dish to feed your taste buds. Grab 6-gram crackers and 6 ounces fat-free whipping creams. Make a half of gram crackers and inject 2 teaspoons of fat-free whipping cream between both biscuits. Garnish it with few strawberries and relish its goodness by placing it in refrigerator for 40 minutes. Pull up your socks and grab an inspiration from this article for setting goals for sustaining a healthy lifestyle. Before attempting this flexible diet, make sure you consult a doctor and take accurate guidance for heading to the correct path. Julie McCormick is a writer and co-owner of the Cleveland Leader, a Technorati Top 1000 site. Read full profile. Have you ever noticed that some people are able to effortlessly remember even the most mundane details and quickly comprehend new things? Well, you can too. Learning how to improve memory isn't as difficult as you might think. To unlock the full potential of your brain, you need to keep it active and acute. Wasting time on your couch watching mindless television shows or scrolling through social media is not going to help. Besides getting out flashcards, what can you do to help remember things better and learn new things more quickly? Check out these 10 effective strategies on how to improve memory. Physical activities don't just exercise the body, but it also helps to exercise your brain. Obesity and the myriad of diseases that eventually set in as a result of being overweight can cause serious harm to the brain. So when learning how to improve memory, exercise is king. Furthermore, without regular exercise, plaque starts to build up in your arteries, and your blood vessels begin to lose the ability to regulate blood flow. Plaque buildup reduces the amount of oxygen and nutrients that your blood carries to your brain. When the nutrients don't make it there, the brain's ability to function is compromised. One study in particular found that exercising 4 hours after learning significantly improved memory retention. The researchers suggested that appropriately timed physical exercise can improve long-term memory and highlight the potential of exercise as an intervention in educational and clinical settings. To improve your memory, make sure you get moving every day. Even if it's just a brisk walk, it'll help you maintain and increase your mental acuity. Brisk walking, swimming, and dancing are all excellent activities. If you have trouble finding time to fit in a workout, check out this article, 5 Ways to Find Time for Exercise. Any risk factors that cause you major stress, like anger or anxiety, will, in time, begin to eat away the parts of your brain that are responsible for memory. Amongst the most brain-damaging stressors is depression, which is actually often misdiagnosed as a memory problem since one of its primary symptoms is the inability to concentrate. One study assessed memory in 3,999 veterans and found that depressive symptoms, without anxiety, had an adverse effect on immediate recall of new information and the total amount, but not rate, of acquisition. If you can't concentrate, then you might feel like you are constantly forgetting things. Depression increases the levels of cortisol in your bloodstream, which elevates the cortisol levels in the brain. Doctors have found that increased cortisol diminishes certain areas of the brain, especially the hippocampus, which is where short-term memories are stored. Prolonged depression can thus destroy your brain's ability to remember anything new. Seek professional help to combat your depression and any stressors causing it. Your brain will thank you. Getting a consistent 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night will help you in your task of learning how to improve memory. During sleep, the brain firms up memories of recently acquired information, especially during REM sleep. Getting enough sleep will help you get through the full spectrum of nocturnal cycles that are essential to optimal brain and body functioning during the waking hours. On the contrary, sleep deprivation can put a huge dent in your ability to form memories. Another helpful strategy is to take a nap during the day, especially after learning something new. This can also help you to retain those memories, as well as recharge your brain and keep it sharper longer. However, the length of your nap is also very important. Scientists, in one study, found that people who napped for 30 to 90 minutes experienced better word recall. 50 to 60% of the brain's overall weight is pure fat, which is used to insulate its billions of nerve cells. The better insulated a cell is, the faster it can send messages, and the quicker you can think. This is precisely why parents are advised to feed their young children whole milk and to restrict dieting. Their brains need fat to grow and work properly. Skimping on fats can be devastating, even to the adult brain. Thus, eating foods that contain a healthy mix of fats is vital for long-term memory. Some excellent food choices include fish, especially anchovies, mackerel, and wild salmon, and dark, leafy green vegetables. Deep-fried foods obviously contain fat, but their lack of nutritional value is not going to help your brain or your body. So think healthy foods and fats first. According to Larry McCleary, MD, Author of the Brain Trust Program. An egg is the ideal breakfast. Eggs contain B vitamins, which help nerve cells burn glucose, antioxidants that protect neurons against damage, and omega-3 fatty acids that keep nerve cells firing at optimal speed. If you want to learn how to improve memory, breakfast is incredibly important. Other foods to add to your breakfast include fruits, veggies, and lean proteins. Avoid trans fats and high fructose corn syrup. Trans fats diminish the brain cells' ability to communicate with each other. And one study found that HFCS can actually damage the brain by promoting brain insulin resistance. Having a healthy breakfast in the morning has been shown to improve performance throughout the day. Don't skimp on this important meal. Nowadays, it's fairly uncommon to write down notes with a pen and paper. When we go to class or meetings, we take our laptops and use that to mark down important ideas. However, recent research has suggested that may be doing us more harm than good. One 2014 study found that even when laptops are used solely to take notes, they may still be impairing learning because their use results in shallower processing. You can start a journal, write yourself emails, or even start keeping a blog. All of these activities will help to improve your capacity to remember and memorize information. Most importantly, if you're going to class or to a big meeting, consider taking notes by hand instead of on your computer. Research shows that certain types of music are very helpful in recalling memories. Information that is learned while listening to a particular song or collection can often be recalled by thinking of the song or playing it mentally. Songs and music can serve as cues for pulling up particular memories. If you're looking into learning how to improve memory, this can be a great thing to try. Listening to music has been shown to specifically benefit the memorization of words. One study found that young adults who listened to music while memorizing a list of words, as opposed to listening to environmental sounds or silence, performed better when asked to recall the words. Next time you have to memorize a speech or want to compete in a spelling bee, try listening to music while studying. You may be surprised by how much it helps. Pay attention to photographers, charts and other graphics that might appear in your textbook, or if you're not studying a book, try to pull up a mental image of what it is you are trying to remember. It might also help to draw your own charts or figures, or utilize colors and highlighters to group related ideas in your notes. Another strong visualization technique for memory is the memory palace. This essentially involves imagining a place you know well, your house or a former school. For example, listing distinctive features of the place in your mind, and begin to associate those features with things you want to remember. Then, when you need to recall information, you simply go to the specific room or object where you stored the information in your mind, and it will come to you. For more information on how to build a memory palace, check out this article, How to Build a Memory Palace to Remember More of Everything. Reading material out loud has been shown to significantly improve memory of the material. Expanding further upon this idea is the fact that psychologists and educators have found that by having students teach new concepts to others, it helps to enhance understanding and recall. One study pointed out that this increased memory specifically because it forced students to recall the information in order to teach it. Teach new concepts and information to a friend or study partner, and you'll find you remember the information a lot better. Studies have shown that doing crossword puzzles, reading, or playing cards on a daily basis helps to delay memory loss, especially in those who experience cognitive decline in the form of dementia. So, pick up the daily newspaper and work on that crossword puzzle. Read a book, or enjoy a game of solitaire if you want to boost your memory. Everyone has the ability to learn how to improve memory and boost their brain power. And everyone will find that different strategies work for them. Try out some of the above in order to get a feel for what works for you. Current biology, physical exercise performed 4 hours after learning improves memory retention and increases hippocampal pattern similarity during retrieval. Archives of clinical neuropsychology, the effects of depression and anxiety on memory performance. Sleep medicine, memory, sleep and dreaming, experiencing consolidation. Johns Hopkins Medicine, can a nap boost brain health? Current neuropharmacology, impact of dietary fats on brain functions. Nutrients, dietary omega-3 fatty acid deficiency and high fructose intake in the development of metabolic syndrome. Brain metabolic abnormalities. and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Psychological science. The pen is mightier than the keyboard. Advantages of longhand over laptop note-taking. Musicae scientiae. The positive effect of music on source memory. Applied cognitive psychology. The learning benefits of teaching. A retrieval practice. Hypothesis J in neurocycle SOC. Association of crossword puzzle participation with memory decline in persons who develop dementia. Text source, lifehack.org.